This week on the streets, Montgomery Gentry deliver a new one while they're still young. Rascal Flatts lands among the stars. Blake Shelton's all about tonight, and Trailer Choir Tailgate in the studio. Well, coming up next, joining us right here in the studio, Butter, Big Vinny, and Crystal on the release of their debut CD. They are undoubtedly one of the most entertaining artists out on the road right now. One of their biggest fans is Toby Keith, head of their label and their co-producer of their debut CD. They have one of the most feel-good songs out this summer called Rollin' for the Sunshine. Just one of the 10 on their debut album, Tailgate. Welcome, Crystal, Big Vinny, Butter, known as Trailer Choir. Good to have you guys. Finally, we have this CD to talk about. I know this has been a long time in the making. For people who may not know your story, and I guess start with Crystal kind of coming to the group, because it really kind of speaks to the fact that you have to be a go-getter.
Yeah, definitely a go-getter. If you're gonna make it in Nashville, you got to be willing to jump on a few stages, apparently. And Butter and Vinny had started Trailer Choir and had been running this great show here in town. And prior to that, we're doing frat parties and touring all over the Southeast area. And they had this huge following here in town when they decided to come to town and focus on doing an original show, and it was kind of the buzz around town. You got to go catch a Trailer Choir show, and I knew them and was a big fan of what they were doing and would go out to the shows and support them. And I'd heard this one song a couple of times. I was like, they need a high harmony on that song, and I decided to take over Vinny's microphone.
She's a bully. I mean, she's the blue-eyed bully. That's what she did. She comes over, she looks at me, she bats her eyes, she goes, "Go dance. I'm singing on your microphone." I'm like, all right.
And that's all it took?
Yeah,
all right.
Pretty much.
You guys are some of the most hardworking people, as I said in that intro. I see you guys at these fairs and these festivals that you've been playing now for a couple of years, right? How long have you guys been playing as a group?
About four and a half, 5 years when the whole thing kind of started. And even before having a record deal, before Toby kind of discovered us, we were playing full time. We were almost playing 7 nights a week. Monday through Wednesday or Thursday, we were playing somewhere here in Nashville, an original show, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we were at a frat house or a club somewhere along the SEC trails, and just love playing and love the fact of just getting out in front of people all the time, something we've always done. So.
Well, perseverance, tenacity, I'm sure words that you guys are very familiar with. There's a song on the album that really speaks to that. I'm talking about Last Man Standing. Kind of that philosophy, I know that you had a hand in writing it, right? Was that kind of about the business?
It's kind of like, I'll equate it to this, and I actually have a really, really unmanly tattoo of it on my arm.
Wait a second, no, we gotta sing, man.
No, she's already been making fun of me because I got a Harley hat on.
Oh, I'm so happy.
I don't ride a Harley quite yet.
Listen, there are a lot of people in this town that have Harleys that don't ride them. That's all I'm saying. So if Harley's watching,
you need one. No, I'm not showing you my very unmanly Last Man Standing. But Last Man Standing was, you know, I'd kind of reached a point here in Nashville where I was scared. I was turning 30. I didn't have something going on. I felt alone. I was drinking a lot. I felt like I was laying on the mat, and I looked over and there was no Adrian in my corner, you know, like how Rocky had Adrian. And I felt like, man, I can't go down like this. I've got to get up. I've got to find myself. I've got to dig deeper. And Last Man Standing was kind of a song that came out of that for me personally, where I kind of, you know, knew it was going to be tough, but I had to kind of get back on my feet, get my momentum again. And shortly after that, you know, I met Vinny, and we kind of got things going, and then Crystal, and, you know, so Last Man Standing was kind of a song for me personally that was like, where's my Adrian, man? Where's my Adrian?
Well, now you got a lot of Adrians. When I look out in that crowd, I mean, you got some major people cheering you guys on. They just absolutely
be like Adrian, I'll be like Paulie, you know? I just need a cigar and a robot that talks to me. That's all I need.
I like it. And then I could be the, what was his name, Burgess, the coach? Or was that
Mick.
Smoking the cigarette? Yeah, it would be like, cut me, Mick. No, I'm not going to. Exactly. Well, you guys, obviously, so much fun on the road. These songs really speak to that on this debut CD. And one of them really kind of points out you don't need a lot of money to have a lot of fun. And I'm talking about the song Homemade Mexico. Is that one of the songs on there that you guys look at? Is that?
I think that's a song that, you know, Lee Bryce actually wrote it, and he's one of our good buddies. And, you know, when we heard the song, when they pitched it to us, it was kind of like, I think everybody wants to be able to just go to their backyard and be on vacation. You know what I mean? So when we heard that song and I played it for them, and they're like, "Oh, we love this song. You know, it's awesome." And Crystal's like, "Yeah, I want a big purple beach towel and a kiddie pool to put my feet in and all this
That's kind
stuff."
of how I grew up. Was like you just made your own fun. I grew up way 45 miles from town. Sometimes you couldn't get into town to go do anything fun with the other kids, so you'd get a hose and a towel and make your own fun. And so it really spoke to us. We
just go down to the creek.
Rolling Through the Sunshine, the video definitely speaks to that too. I love the van that these guys have and kind of create their own little utopia inside. Where would you guys, was this West Coast or East Coast on the beach when you shot this video?
This was out in Santa Monica Beach, right?
Yeah, looks like you guys had a hard time.
Well, it was definitely the hardest video shoot, being on the beach all day with Crystal looking so hot. And I mean, it was hard.
It was actually right before it was our turn to shoot. For some reason, the weather there is just, you just never know what it's going to do. And it got really overcast and freezing cold for like 2 hours. And right before it was our time to walk onto the beach, the sun came out and it was gorgeous for the rest of the day. So
well, see, it was perfect because we had to film the rain first, and it didn't rain there, but it was like overcast, and so we had the rain machines that made everything look even better.
It was beautiful. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Here it is, Trailer Choir, Rolling Through the Sunshine.
Lately I have been working overtime. You've been taking a class at night. And even though we've got bills still left to pay, I think we should just slip away. I can see you in the sun, sipping on that Coke and rum. Come on, girl, let's take a ride. Go rolling through the sunshine. You right here by my side, and surfing in the wind on a wave that never ends. There ain't no chance of rain, just good times on the way. Tom Petty on the radio, free falling as we go. We can leave it all behind. Go rolling through the sunshine. Grab your sunglasses, I'll grab my guitar. The nearest beach cannot be that far. Say goodbye to your stress and your cell phone. We can put the whole world on hold. And I can see you in the sun, sipping on that Coke and rum. Come on, girl, let's take a ride. Go rolling through the sunshine. You right here by my side.
Trailer Choir and Rolling Through the Sunshine. And these guys, as the video is playing, this was the first song that the two of you got together to write for a Trailer Choir song?
Yeah, Butter had, we had just really become good friends, and we had this little office together in town, and he was sitting in the front room playing a little melody one day, that dun 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I want to write that with you. He goes, man, I've had that for 4 or 5 years, and I never have written anything to it. If you can come up with whatever that is, then we'll write it together. So the next day I'm at Sonic, and I'm sitting there, I'm humming it in my head.
He's working at Sonic.
I'm working at Sonic. I was the general manager, and I'm flipping burgers because I've done everything. I wore the Coney suit and skated half the time. But I was sitting there, and I was working at the Sonic and everything, and I got this. I was like, it's got to be called Rolling Through the Sunshine. So I get on the phone, cooking burgers. I'm like, Butter, I think it should be called Rolling Through the Sunshine. And he hung up on me. I'm like, maybe he didn't like it. He calls me back. He goes, listen to what I got. I got this for the chorus. And he's like, rolling through the sunshine. I'm like, oh, I love that. And we hung up again. Then I'd call him back, and I'd have something going. And, and we just went back and forth over the phone and wrote pretty much 90% of the song right there over the phone while I was sending out orders. He's like, I can't hear anything you're saying. I got buzzers going off in my ear, and he'd hang up again, and we'd call back in a minute.
How funny is that? Now I'm going to be thinking of that when I head to Sonic. You need a sponsor, a Sonic sponsor on that. The Rolling Through the Sunshine Tour, sponsored by Sonic for Trailer Choir.
That's where y'all look into the camera.
Right. I'm going to see you guys up in Wisconsin for Country Thunder. As I said, some of the hardest working people right here. Always a pleasure. Always a lot of fun.
Great to see
Thank
you.
you guys very
Thank
much.
you very
I
much.
believe we're here. This is crazy, man.
In the house. Stay tuned. We got more on the streets.